What's going on, guys? Tristan24 here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I have got for you the exciting video, which is of course my Premier League 2022-23 predictions. This time we're going to be predicting the outcome of the table. We do this every year now consecutively, and yeah, quite a popular one on the channel because it creates a lot of controversy and everyone wants to know how others think their team will do in the upcoming season. So here's my views, and if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Also let me know who you think is getting top 4, bottom 3, and where your team's going to finish. Always interested to see that. Before we get into it, do drop a like and subscribe. Also, I've got a fantasy football league going, so on screen now will be the code in the link in the description. Click that and it'll take you to join otherwise, but make sure you get joined up. And also, one other thing before we get into the video, I don't really have time to do a video like this for predictions weekly, so instead what I'm doing is uploading a 30-second clip of just my scores for the Championship and Premier League. That way I have time to do it every week, I can be consistent with it, and it gives you guys my views. So keep a watch out for that. It will come out every week, as I say, for every match week. And yeah, without further ado though, let's get into these predictions. Bottom of the table, nobody wants to be there, but for me, I think it's going to be Bournemouth. There's a lack of activity in the transfer market for them, and really they've still got the same squad from last year. They lost a few big loan players they had, with Todd Cantwell, who didn't do as well as we thought he would. Ethan Laird, he also lost Freddie Woodman and Nat Phillips. It's a decent squad for the Championship. They've kept a few players that they had last time they were in the Premier League. However, I don't think it's going to be a very successful season for Bournemouth. They've brought in Marcus Tavernier, and I don't think, it's his first shot at the Premier League, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? So I'm not too sure how he will do. It's just a lack of ambition, I'd like to say, in the transfer market for Bournemouth. I think they could have done a lot more, but there's still, of course, until the end of August to get things sorted, so maybe they will. But for me, Bournemouth, you're coming bottom, unfortunately. In 19th, they've been flirting with the relegation zone for quite some time now, and they've got a very light squad, and this season I think will be the year they go down. It is Southampton, of course. Yeah, you just look at their squad, you look in the positions, and there's just no depth. You've got a good 11, but if one or two injuries start creeping in, it's going to be quite difficult now. You've had a few bids rejected for some players, like the likes of Liam Delap from Man City, who looks really good. 16 million on a youngster though, a bit risky. If that was my team spending 60 million on a player like Delap, wouldn't be too keen on it. I'd prefer someone who's proven at goal scoring in the Premier League. They've also brought in Bazunu, I'm pretty sure, the goalkeeper, who's on loan at Pompey last season, so that will cause a bit of controversy. But yeah, all round not looking great for Southampton. For me, 19th. In 18th, in the final relegation spot, this one is very tough to choose. I've swapped it a lot of times, but for me it will be Fulham. I love basically all the transfers that they're making. Bern Leno from Arsenal is a huge upgrade. Pierre, who's got something to prove as well, still really young. They've also got Paulinho, I'm pretty sure it is, someone like that, and all I've heard is good things about him. So yeah, really exciting season. Of course, Mitrovic as well, who scored 40 goals in the Championship last season. I think that'll be really exciting for Fulham fans to see how he does. I don't think he'll get 40 or anywhere close to that. I think he might just about get into double figures. But for me, Fulham 18th, but it could go right down to the wire and easily survive. For me, it's just a manager. I'm not a big fan of Marco Silva, but if they had someone else in charge, maybe sacked him and got someone else in, maybe higher for Fulham. In 17th, just escaping the drop for me, is Brentford. Now, I like a few of the additions they've brought in, but they've lost a main man in Christian Eriksen, of course. He's gone to Man United now. He was only on for a 6-month contract or something like that, but he did well, kept them up last season, but it's a big gap now. Of course, he's a really quality player, surrounded by not so higher quality players. I like the addition of Hickey or something like that, the fullback. He looks really good. Ivan Toney, of course, up top. Wissa, Embuemo. It's a good squad, and they've also are close to signing Damsgaard, who I think will be a brilliant signing. Excited to see that. So for me, Brentford just about staying up in 17th. In 16th is the final newly promoted club. It is Nottingham Forest. Now, I'm really uncertain where to put Forest. I could easily have put them a little bit lower or a bit higher. It's just a lot of uncertainty surrounding them. Of course, they've got the likes of Jesse Lingard in, who is a brilliant player, of course, at West Ham a few seasons ago. However, his move was mainly influenced by a lot of money. They've got the likes of the new striker, Anyowi. I don't know. I have no idea how to say it. But he looks alright. Of course, Brennan Johnson, Dean Henderson in goal, McKenna. It looks so good for Forest, and I think they'll stay up in 16th. Steve Cooper, really good manager, of course. See how he does in his first ever season in the Premier League. But Forest, I think they'll be fine. In 15th, this one will come as a bit of a surprise. I have gone for Wolves. Last season was very concerning, and they haven't done anything really in the transfer market apart from signing Nathan Collins, if I'm right, from Burnley for 20 million. Yes, that'll be good for the defence, but the other end of the pitch, last year they only scored 38 goals. Yes, they've got Morgan Gibbs-White, but he hasn't played consecutively at this level, and I'm not too sure how they're going to do this season. Jose Sarr is a brilliant goalkeeper, but I'm just not too sure how Wolves are going to do this season. So for me, an uncertain 15th, could easily be lower, but could easily be higher. But I'm going to be a little bit sensible in this one, put 15th. In 14th is a big call, and the next one after this is an even bigger one. But in 14th, I have gone for Leeds United. The loss of Rafinha and of course Calvin Phillips are massive, and of course two big players for Leeds, but they've replaced them with a lot of American talent. Of course, Jesse Marsh, of course, being American, bringing in some players he's previously worked with. And I like the look of Leeds this season. A lot of unproven players, but last season they of course had Bamford out for, I think it was the whole season. This season, hopefully they'll have him back for majority of it, if his injury worries can calm down. But yeah, I think Leeds really strong. I think they'll be fine this season. And 14th. 13th, I can already see the comments coming in saying I'm a clown. No. Everton 13th. Yes, they've lost Richarlison. To Spurs, but I think everyone's been a bit too harsh on Everton. They're a massive club, and last season will be a big scare, but I think they'll be fine, and I think they're going to prove a lot of people wrong. Frank Lampard has said he wants to bring in a few more faces, and I think he will get the people he wants and the players he wants. So yeah, Everton for me, 13, probably will end up a little bit lower, but I can't see any of the teams lower finishing higher, if you get what I'm trying to say. So that's why Everton are 13th. In 12th, a big drop off from where they previously are, Leicester City. Kasper Schmeichel is leaving, and even Jamie Vardy has been rumoured to leave to Chelsea or Man United, both interested apparently. For Leicester, it just seems like they're dropping off season by season, from where they were, of course, winning the league, then Champions League. Now they're in the Europa League, and it's just, they're slipping down slowly. So for me, Leicester 12th. They've got Fofana, who looks like he might leave, although it would be a big fee. Yeah, Tielemans, Maddison, all rumoured to leave. So Leicester, be interested to see how they reinvest. I don't think they've made any signings as of yet. They've got ages to do so. I think they'll be fine, but a bit of a slip off from where they have been in previous years. In 11th place, I have gone for Brighton. Now, I'm really unsure on Brighton because Cucurella, a massive player for them, linked to City. However, apparently that move has broken down, but he put in a transfer request once he knew that City were interested, apparently, according to some reporters. And that's a little bit worrying for Brighton, I'd say, because if big teams come knocking for Cucurella now, his head's going to be somewhere else, thinking about the big attraction of a bigger team than Brighton. However, Brighton last season did fantastic. I'm hoping they can build on that. I'm just really unsure. They've brought in Undav, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not too sure if he's going to be starting, a bench player, no idea. But of course, the loss of Yves Bissouma as well. I'm not too sure on what's going to happen with Brighton, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll slip off a little bit from last season. There's a lot of uncertainty, but a lot to prove in this Brighton team. In 10th is their rivals, Crystal Palace, and I don't mean to do it like this. I have nothing against Brighton or Crystal Palace. I really like both of the clubs just as much. Really exciting, and they're both going in the right direction. But for me, in 10th, it'll be Crystal Palace this season. Decore is a massive signing. Of course, they missed out on the Flynn Downs move. He, of course, went to his boyhood club, West Ham. We'll speak on them in just 1 minute. But, they've got the likes of Edouard, Elise, Eze, Zaha, Sam Johnson coming in. It's a really exciting team. Guihi at the back with Anderson. Tyreek Mitchell, the list goes on and on and on. It's so exciting at Crystal Palace right now, and I think they're going to have a really successful season and finish 10th. In 9th, I've got Aston Villa. Coutinho, Watkins, Ings, proven Premier League players, and that's just 3 players. They've got the likes of Leon Bailey, Buendia, Jacob Ramsey, who looks like he's going to break in to be a consistent player in this team now, next season as well. Martinez, who's a brilliant goalkeeper at this level. The defence is stacked with quality for the first choice. They haven't really got that good of backups for the full-backs especially, is what I'm trying to say. So they could do with 1 or 2 full-backs coming in to support Digne and Matty Cash. But I really do like the luck of Aston Villa this season. For me, they won't get any higher than 9th, so I think I'll stick on there. I can't see them finishing lower than 12th, I'll say. So between 9th and 12th for Aston Villa this season, I've gone with the highest possible position for them to finish, 9th. In 8th, I've gone for the money boys, Newcastle United. To be fair to them though, they haven't really splashed out a lot. However, they're linked to big moves for James Maddison for, I think it's 50 million now they're putting in a new bid for, I've heard, which is massive for them if they get him. They got the likes of Callum Wilson up top, Fraser, St. Maximum. For me, that front 3 could easily be improved. I don't really rate Fraser too much. He's okay off the bench as a second player for that role, but not as a starter for me. For top 8. The rest of the pitch though, Nick Pope is a massive signing for them. Botman as well. I love the back 5 in terms of the goalkeeper and the back 4. Midfield's strong as well. Gamara is in there. Joe Linton, who's been playing really well for Newcastle recently. So yeah, exciting times for Newcastle. I can't see them finishing too high though. I think there's still a lot more signings to come in, but the teams above them, I still think they're quite a few levels above Newcastle. So that's why Newcastle, they're going to finish 8th this season, I believe. In 7th, just missing out on the top 6, I've gone for West Ham. Now, a lot of exciting moves going on at West Ham. and really exciting time to be a West Ham fan. Now, a few fans are saying that, of course, they've had a few good seasons now. It's time for the drop-off, sort of what I'm expecting from Leicester and Wolves. I don't think that's going to happen for West Ham. I think they're going to keep on consecutively finishing in these high positions in the top 10. And I think they're going to do well this season as well. Of course, they've signed that striker. No idea his name, by the way. They brought Flynn Downs in as well. Linked to a few good players as well. Yeah, it's looking really good. Jared Bowen, of course. He'll be wanting to get on the plane to Qatar this winter. So he'll have a point to prove. And I think it's going to be a strong season for West Ham. So they'll finish 7th. In 6th, I have gone for Erik ten Hag's Manchester United. Now, the top 6 is going to be a lot closer than what people are sort of saying, I think, because Man United, they've got a really good squad and a really good manager right now. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets them to play, because I personally have never watched Erik ten Hag's teams. Even at Ajax, I didn't watch Ajax play, so I'm interested to see what type of football he'll play with them. Ronaldo saga's still going on. I think he will end up staying, to be honest. Trying to help Manchester United get into the top 4. I'm not too sure though. They've got Bruno Fernandes, of course, the big boys, linked to a few players. Be interested to see who comes in or not. But for me, Man United 6th. In 5th, I have gone for a big call, Tottenham Hotspur. We've seen it a few seasons ago under Jose Mourinho, I think it was. Everyone was tipping them to do well into the top 4 because they were in the Champions League. They were looking really strong. Under Conte, I have the same feeling. I don't think they'll do as well as people are saying. I think there's a lot more competition this year than there was last season for the Champions League places. And I think Spurs, with the extra football, all the hype, I think it'll just get to them. I love the team, by the way. Kane, Son, Kulusevski, Richarlison, stacked. I love it. The midfield's really strong as well, and the back line, they've brought in Lenglet as well, which I think is a brilliant player. So yeah, Spurs, really good squad. I don't think they'll finish top 4, however I hope they prove me wrong. Going into my top 4 then is their North London rivals, Arsenal, to finish 4th. I love what's happening at Arsenal. It's a brilliant time to be an Arsenal fan right now. Having Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus come in. Really exciting times. We've got such a young team. I think it is the youngest team in the Premier League. And that's really exciting for how well they're doing right now. Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Jesus, Odegaard, Partey, Tomiyasu, Ben White. The list goes on and on and on. It's really exciting for Arsenal. I think this season they'll get it under Arteta. They'll get the top 4. In 3rd is Chelsea. Now, yes, they have an aging squad, but they're linked with so many quality players. The likes of Koulibaly, I'm pretty sure, is going to Chelsea. I think that's almost confirmed. So that takes the defence up a level for me. It's a brilliant team, of course. It's unreal how they have all these insane players spread across 6 different teams in the Premier League. There's so much quality, and it's ridiculous, really. It's really exciting for a neutral like myself. But if you're one of those teams' fans, if you're a fan of one of those teams in the top 6, you're going to be very nervous for your chances of top 4 this season. I think anyone in my top 6 will get the top 4, of course. But yeah, it's really exciting. So for me, Chelsea 3rd, linked to some striker, I can't remember his name, really sorry about that. Ronaldo, he's one of them as well. That's not the guy I was thinking of course. Wouldn't disrespect Ronaldo like that. But yeah, it's really exciting for Chelsea. I think they'll get 3rd. And yes, moving on to my top 2. There's only 2 teams left, of course. Liverpool and Man City. Which way round? It's the right way round. Liverpool will come 2nd for me this season, but it'll be really close. I think it's a brilliant team. Mo Salah, Big loss with Sadio Mane, especially the fee he went for. I think it was 25 million, something like that. Very, very cheap, if you ask me, for a player of his calibre. Darwin Núñez, though, Diego Jota, Luis Diaz, it's really exciting. Liverpool trying to get a bit more youth into their team. Konate at the back, Salah in attack. Liverpool going to come second this season under Klopp. Top of the league then, it's getting a little bit boring, but they're just too good for the league. They're like the Fulham of the Championship and Norwich. Too good for that league, but not good enough for Champions League yet. I'm not too sure, maybe this is their year, Man City. Haaland is all I need to say really. So yeah, Man City winning the league because of Haaland, he's going to carry them. No, I don't think that. I don't think it's all like that. Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez, brilliant. KDB, every position in that Man City squad. Even the backups could probably get top 4 in the Man City squad. It's really exciting. I think they're winning the league again, and it is boring, but it's truth. And now I've got a few interesting predictions to go for. So, Golden Boot. I have narrowed it down to 2 players I think will win the Golden Boot this season. I've got Haaland and Heung-min Son. So for me, one of them will get the Golden Boot, and I'll put a prediction out there of, I think they'll get it with, whichever one it is, it'll be either Haaland or Son, and they'll get 26 goals for the Golden Boot this season. Manager of the season, I think it'll be Klopp again, or, this is a big surprising one, Jesse Marsh at Leeds. I think that is a big call. Golden Glove, I've got another dark horse in this one. I've gone for Aaron Ramsdale. Yes, big decision, but I think Arsenal's defence is going to be really tight this season and hard to get through. Next up, most assists. I've gone for Raheem Sterling at Chelsea. Chelsea needed a bit of creativity, I feel, and someone who can get the ball in the back of the net as well. So I think Sterling will do both of them things, and yeah, brilliant. I think he'll get the most assists. First manager sacked, I've got them in 19th. I think it's going to be Ralph Hasenhüttl or Frank Lampard, but I'm swaying towards the Southampton manager. I think he'll go by November, definitely Christmas. I think he'll go by. And flop of the season, so this is in terms of teams, has to be Wolves or Leicester. I'm predicting a big drop off from where they normally are, so for me they're the flops of the season. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Leave your top 6 and bottom 3, as I said before, in the comment section down below. Also, leave the whole table, don't mind at all, whatever's easier for you. Of course, in the background I've got the old table. I hopefully will be getting a new one whenever Match decide to release it, because the season's starting like this Friday, which is really exciting. Don't forget the weekly predictions in the shorts, so I'll just upload a 30-second clip of all the scores for the weekend. Let me know yours in the comments, and if a lot of people participate in it, then I will of course create a prediction league, update that of course as well, but I'm also planning the last 10 weeks of both the Premier League and Championship to do a video like this of actually saying my predictions, but until then it's just a lot more convenient for me to do it that way, because I can be consistent that way. It's quick and easy to do, and I can get it out to you guys as well, give you a bit more content as well. So thank you all very much for watching this video. A lot more to keep tuned for on the channel, so make sure you are subscribed, make sure you have dropped a like on this video, check out another one and hit the notification bell so you never ever miss a video. Thank you all very much for watching. This has been the Premier League prediction video, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Until then guys, take care, good